So I am getting wood. We've got a storm coming, up to 8 inches of wet, heavy snow with 40-mile-an-hour winds. I've got to get at least my wood box topped off. How I do it this time of year, because you don't need a fire every day, is I take the big chunky stuff. The big chunky stuff here, that's beech. Those are all-nighters or all-dayers. They'll burn a long time. Those are for really cold weather and when I'm not going to be around much. This time of year, I like burning cherry. I like burning birch. And I'll burn the small stuff because usually you don't need a fire all day. You just need to take the chill off or the dampness out. And then this time of year, you end up opening a window a little bit anyway. So I'll burn what people call junk wood, the lesser wood, the wood that burns quick. The thing I like about birch is it catches on good, right? You got all this paper bark, that's kindling. You really don't need kindling, just a couple of pine cones underneath that, and it catches that on fire. If you set the birch in there just right, you don't have any kindling but 3 or 4 pine cones. The thing I do not like about birch is it doesn't burn down all the way. It leaves big chunks of coal, which after a while, and I'm talking after a couple of days of burning steady with just birch, those coals, yeah, it's snowing, folks. It's already started. You have to clean those coals out, right? So you're burning birch. Birch is a good wood to cook with if you're going to make biscuits on the wood stove or bread on the wood stove or whatnot, because it burns hot, right? But after a few days, you have to just clean the ashes out. Well, there's not many ashes. There's mostly coals, right? And that just fills up the wood box or the fire box, and you can't get much wood in there if you wanted to. So every other day I clean out my wood stove of ashes and just start all over again. That's just what I do. But this time of year, I will save the big chunky wood, the big beech, the big maple, the big yellow birch, and I will save that for another time, right? So this is a good time of year to me to clean up my lesser wood that I'd rather burn it on days like today, although it is chilly and the wind is picking up and it is snowing, than I would for it to lay on the ground and rot, right? Enough is going to fall on the ground and rot in anyway, so I might as well burn it to keep myself warm and to maybe make some bread. I've got geese, folks. Oh boy, what bird drama there's been here. I believe I lost my ruined duck, the old fuddy-duddy duck that was in love with the wild mallard out there. Either two things happened. One, she is nesting and he is so right in love, folks, and I have not seen the female mallard's companionship, so something might have happened to him. He never showed up, so she may be allowing my ruined duck to keep her company and help her guard the nest. That's an unlikely scenario, but it's a possibility. Or I have a gray fox I've seen here. The other morning I heard a ruckus and I fell asleep without closing my coop door. I just sat down. I never sit down when I'm tired in my recliner because I do fall asleep, but I did. And woke up to the geese out in the coop just a hollering. I stepped out on my deck with my flashlight and the geese were putting the chase right to the gray fox. So there is a gray fox in the area. I did walk part of the trail out here where they've been cutting, and it's a mess, folks. It's a mess. I was following a fox track, and then I kept catching glimpses, and there was movement everywhere. So finally I just stood there, and I stood there for about 20-25 minutes, folks, and finally I saw little fisher babies that were just scurrying around, going underneath the brush, going and hiding, right? So I don't know where Mama was. I didn't see Mama anywhere, but there were definitely baby fisher or fisher juveniles. So I've got a male goose courting a female goose. They're doing the neck rub thing and cresting their necks up on each other and winding them around. It's pretty nice to watch nature, folks. So what I would like to touch on, I don't want to make this a long video, folks. What I want to touch on is why make something more complicated than it needs to be. If people just simplified a task, simplified a project, simplified their life, simplify their living, go down to just basics. There's enough moving parts in the world, right? Moving parts are more things liable to break, right? If we take on a global scale, all we've got to have is a shipping disaster, right? And then that link is broke, right? That piece, that moving piece is broken, that chain effect. Same thing happens in our lives, folks. If you hone it in, sometimes it takes only one link to break, and it has that trickle down effect. So I really like to live by the less moving parts, the better. So if something breaks here, I'll have a backup for that, or I'll know how to fix it, or I'll know how to go around it, right? Why people have to make things so fancy. Like my water barrel system, I haven't gotten those water barrels hooked up. I thought I had 5. I gave one to my stepdad about two-ish years ago. And so I have to refigure what I'm going to do, how I'm going to set it up with 4 barrels instead. But until then, all I have is a 32-gallon Rubbermaid trash can. And for a gutter system, for right now, the gutter system I've got is tin roofing, strips like this that I made into a V and just tacked them up under the eave. So when it runs off, especially the woodshed here, it runs off the woodshed, hits that makeshift eave system, and it has a slight slope. And then I have that 32-gallon barrel underneath it. Folks, it doesn't take much of a roof to fill up 32 gallons. This is a 10 by 12 woodshed. The roof is a foot overhang on each side. We get just a little bit of rain, that 32 gallons is filled up and overflowing. So that's wasting water. I need to get working on my water barrels. The weather has to cooperate. So anyway, y'all hang in there. Thank you for any new subscribers. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for checking in on me. I wasn't going to do a video. I had no idea how long it had been since I'd done a video, because everything has just been so chaotic in here. Until someone checked in on me and they, where you been? Everything all right? So I get on here in the middle of getting wood to let you know that this is what's going on. Everything is okay. I'm doing a little processing up here, trying to remain calm, trying to find my happy place, trying to make it work for me and my bubble. And you can't control what other people do, folks. My stance is I'm just staying away. I'm staying away. I am just staying away until they get over whatever's going on with them. But I don't need to be around that, right? So y'all be good. Please be patient. You're all patient, but thank you. Be good, and just pay attention what's going around you, folks. Make the world work for you.